Guess I better start talking now because it's likely to get pretty noisy out here. So what we're doing today is we're testing our patent pending concrete cutter blade. It's kind of a enduro on steroids blade, and in order to give it a good fair test, we had to hook up a really good vac to it. So we're using our vac, which is basically it's 135 horsepower on the blower, which is more than you'll find in any trailer vac in the industry. Uh, we probably deliver 2,500 CFM to the saw when cutting. That's about what a guzzler will do, even though they say there's a lot more CFM than that. Yeah, that's what they quote is their nameplate CFM at sea level. What we're quoting is delivered CFM to the hose, to the saw, when there's dirt flowing through it. So, but the unique thing about our vac is it's a side dump truck basically. So you can side dump into a dump trailer while you're out there on the job site and keep on cutting. You don't have to take your vac out of service and shut down your saw. This whole idea here is to never shut down the saw for any more than is absolutely necessary. So what we've done here on this test of the blade is we've embedded a panel, just embedded a panel out here in our back lot, and we're going to, and we've got our little foot per minute meter on this, so we can actually see how many feet per minute we're cutting. Go around to that end of the thing. This is our little robotic saw. That's the foot per minute meter, which if you're in a nice street that's got 4 or 5 inches of asphalt with fairly new engineered road base, so a good normal fairly modern street, our blades with our attachment with a RTX 550 tractor and a good stout vac like this, you can cut up to 30 feet per minute. I've actually gone out and measured a variety of saws, a variety of manufacturers, and a variety of vacs, and I've measured the speeds that you can cut. And if you're using the standard trailer vacs that everybody's been using for years, you'll be lucky to get much over 15 feet per minute. But we can get up to 30 feet per minute easily with our combo in the right vac. You see that pipe sticking out? That's called a Helmholtz resonator. It's a little experiment to make it more quiet. It actually does take 3 or 4 dB off of it. That's the clutch for the blower. And you definitely have to have the blower off when you dump it, because there's a duct on the other side that you can wreck it if you leave the blower attached. It's attached by suction, but put a big warning sign that if that handle is up, do not dump your load. I mean, I'm planning on putting a mechanical interlock in there to make it impossible to do. But for right now, if the handle's up, don't be operating. It's actually pretty quiet, even without that resonator. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it only works at 1 RPM. Anyway, it's a cheap $5 fix. Well, maybe probably like $20 fix by the time we get all the labor in it and everything. To take another 6 dB off your noise, possibly. Power on it. It's not working. sure why he quit. I guess he's almost through that panel. How deep did you have the saw?
I was about halfway.
It's like 8 inches. Which one? That's the thicker panel. Is that the 6-inch panel?
I think so. Let me see. It might be about the same thickness. They're nominally 4.
How deep is your trench?
Looks like it kind of lifted this up and scooted it. So
Yeah, it wasn't like a real panel in the street. So I'm just back there at the deepest spot. If you were down 8 inches,
yeah,
you're cutting 8 inches. So it cleaned it out. The vac cleaned it out. That's why I was okay. Can you lift it up and extend the blade so we can show some detail of this concrete cutting, this patent pending concrete cutting blade? Okay. Kind of hard to see. I guess when we pull the blade off, I'll get some more detail in the shop. We'll get some more detail in the shop when we pull the blade off. Yeah, well, let's show them how to dump this truck, this vac. This is a variation on our Enduro cobble teeth, and we found some things that make them last a whole hell of a lot longer if you're cutting concrete. Doesn't really help so much if you're cutting cobble, but when you're cutting that constant load of grinding the constant concrete, it works pretty dang good. It makes a pretty smooth cut, and it survives pretty well. We've been testing this design for quite a few months, mostly in some offshore locations. So now we're going to show you about dumping the vac. We've got another wheel that we've made on this encoding wheel for the little speedometer. It's got twice as many screws. You get picked up by that proximity sensor, and we're doing some math on it. And so there's a little lag in the speedometer itself. It's got to have 3 or 4 of those screw heads pass it maybe before it does the math and averages the speed. So that's why you saw it jump up to 10 and then up to 20. I would say that this blade cutting was between 10 and 20, so 15 feet per minute. But it didn't, Ben didn't. We didn't have enough of a panel in the ground to really push it, so he never got it going fast enough to actually stall the saw. Say that fast 5 times. But I think it's confidently I could say it's between 10 and 20, and cutting say a waterway. That's one of the requests is that people have got cities that are making you cut the whole waterway. And so when you've got a waterway that may be like 10 feet wide, and you got every intersection has one, well, your regular speed cutting blades and your other blades that are out on the market are not going to survive that very long. The Enduro will last, I don't know, 5 to 7 times longer. But just to show you now, if you can imagine a dump trailer parked up beside this thing now, it needs your rack, at least on that side, to be about 4 feet, not more than 4 feet above the ground, 4.5 feet. But it'll start dumping before it gets all the way over. So you see, that's probably more like 5 feet above the dump trailer. No water tank on this thing. It's a dry vac. We can put a water tank on it if you want to use it for regular hydrovac operation. It's very easy to put a water tank and a water pump on this. And we've got auxiliary takeoffs on the motor to put a water pump on it. Cleaned out. There wasn't a lot of oils came out of that trench. You want to go shut it, and I'll get a video of the port, the vacuum port. So there's the vacuum that goes into the cyclone. Then it goes into a bag house. and then it goes down into the mufflers. It's a modular design. You can drop that blower out of there in very little time. Put a larger blower on, change the blower. But you can see what I want to show you, where the vacuum connection aligns. And that's why you got to have the vacuum off when you're dumping. There's a lot of vacuum on this thing. Like I said, 135 horsepower, all dedicated to the blower. And there you have it. And that right there, folks, I'm probably going to have to strengthen it up as time goes on. Surely somebody's going to make the mistake. But if I could put a mechanical interlock, so it's just physically impossible to make that mistake, I'm going to do that. You ever have to change the belts on your blower? Ben, go pull on the belt tensioner. It's just that easy to take the tension off the belts. We've only got 5 belts on there. You probably really should run it with 7 or 8 or 9. But you need to change belts on a blower. It's just a 5-minute ordeal. And the blower is underneath this thing. Right there. The next version, we're going to lower the engine down as low as we can. The DEF tank is actually, it's up in there, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. There's the DEF tank. So that's about it. You sure you got your resonator measurement where you want it?
I've got it where we want it.
Huh?
I think we got it where we want it.
Okay.
11 and a quarter in.
Did you mark it?
No, it's 11 and a quarter in.
So how far out is it from the other end? I think I calculated it originally. It was about 22 inches mathematically.
About 23 and 3/4.
23 and 3/4. Well, hey, that ain't so bad for. I didn't know where to take the measurement from, the center of the big pipe or the end of the little pipe. So my calculation was just 22 inches. So, anyhow, cheap place to get 60 be quiet. I don't know what else. I wish you had enough concrete that you could have pushed the speed forward to see how fast we could go before it actually quit cutting.
Yeah.
But I think that when it was bouncing between 10 and 20 when it was averaging.
Yeah, I got about 15.
I think 15 would be a good thing. We should have changed that wheel and the program in the speedometer so to be a lot more responsive to changes, basically. So anyway, a really good, successful test of everything today. I'm really pleased with that blade. So the next step is to take the blade in the shop, remove it, get some glamour photos, and send it to a customer that's really been wanting this for quite a while. And then let's change our speedometer wheel to the one with the twice as sensitive. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Good job. Well done. Thank you for building this thing for us. Now watch. You're going to get an order. You always got to be careful what you hope for.
We want 10 of them.
10 of them? I would say we will not sell anything for a year just so we can do nothing. But I don't even think we could build 10 of those in a year until we add on to the shop. Which there's plans to add on to the shop, but planning a 60-foot extension, and then that'll give us enough room to build one of these a month, So
We could put a crane. Put a crane in.
yeah, we're planning a gantry crane. Yeah, definitely. All right, folks. Chuck and Ben from Lake Wobegon having fun. I get bored easy.